Question number 3. This is kind of a weird one because they give me this nice diagram, but I'm in fact not going to use it. It actually makes it a little bit more difficult. There's a trick to this. So they're telling me in this diagram, I know this is true. All right, I know that that statement is true, that this triangle is congruent to that one. Well, if you remember, all of these pieces correspond. So if I look at individual letters, that's telling me angle A from the first triangle is congruent to angle X. Right? This angle is going to be congruent to this angle. It's kind of difficult if you look at the picture, but looking at the congruence statement, it makes it so much simpler. And one more example is you pick any two letters, right? Any two letters like BC. See how they're the last two? That will always be congruent to the last two letters of the other one, and those are sides. So BC is congruent to YZ. All right. So I'm going to use that method to rule out and find my answer here. Which two statements, right? Which two statements identify congruent parts for these triangles? And if we remember our first unit, logic, these are all conjunctions. Okay. And a conjunction's only true when both statements are true. So I'm going to go one by one, and if I find either one of these statements to be false, I'm going to rule it out, because that would make the entire conjunction false, and I'm looking for a true statement. I'm looking for something that's true. So let's see. AB is congruent to XY. AB is congruent. Yeah, that makes sense. That's true. Right, that's true. And then angle C is congruent to angle Y. Angle C is congruent no, it should be congruent to angle Z. So that's the false one, right? I can rule that out. I'm going to get rid of this so it's a little bit clearer when we work through it. Let's come back to this one. AB is congruent to YZ. AB should be congruent to XY. Oh, that's false right there. Get rid of that one. Then the third one, BC is congruent to XY. BC is congruent to XY. No, it should be congruent to YZ. So this is false. By process of elimination, I know my answer. Oops. I know my answer is going to be number 4, but for the sake of education and just being safe, let's check. Okay. BC is congruent to YZ. I want to demonstrate this method works. BC is congruent to YZ. Yeah, the last two letters. That's certainly true. And then angle A. All right, angle A, the first one, should be congruent to angle X. And yeah, that's what they're saying here. So this is, in fact, number 4. Right? Number 4 is what we're looking for.